Carcinogenic Glyphosate. According to World Wildlife Organization, since 1930s, the world's chemical production have increased dramatically, 400-fold. And today, we are not only facing chemicals produced by various power plants and industries, we are also bombarded with it in our very homes, from cleaning products to health and body care products. An Environmental Working Group, EWG, has found substances in more than 2,000 home cleaning products that can cause health problems. And even in our food products, there's BPA, but the glyphosate being the most controversial. What is glyphosate? It is an herbicide, a subcategory of pesticide. It kills weeds in crops. There are genetically engineered GE crops, also known as genetically modified organism, abbreviated as GMO, like BT corn, BT soy, and BT cotton that were developed to be resistant to glyphosate. And how does glyphosate kill weeds? It shuts down plants' viral and bacterial defense, called the shikimate pathway, and thus kill the plants in a matter of few days. So, how does that affect us as human beings? We'll find out in a little bit. With the plants being killed, the genetically engineered glyphosate-tolerant crops, or the GMO, however, survive. Here's the Glyphosate Agricultural used in 1996, and here's 2012. This is excluding residential, urban, industrial, and forest use. RoundUp is the most popular pesticide containing an active ingredient, glyphosate. It is estimated that half of the U.S. cropland is GMO corn, soybeans, and cotton. Other common GMO crops are canola, sugar beets, and alfalfa. GMO crops drive the sales of glyphosate. Again, genetically engineered or GMO GE crops drive the glyphosate sales. On a side note about GMO cultivation, majority of the countries grow GMO depicted by the red color. 5 countries, US, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, and India, make up 91% of the global GMO crops. Other countries that grow GMO crops, South Africa, Australia, Bolivia, Philippines, Spain, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Colombia, Honduras, Chile, Sudan, Slovakia, Costa Rica, China, Paraguay, Uruguay, Mexico, Portugal, Czech Republic, Pakistan, and Myanmar. Very few countries have law restrictions on GMO cultivation but allows GMO importation depicted by a yellow tone. And only 8 countries ban both cultivation and importation: Algeria, Bhutan, Kyrgyzstan, Peru, Madagascar, Russia, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe. Now, going back to glyphosate. The use of glyphosate is not only for GE or GMO crops, but for pre-harvest non-GMO crops like wheat, which is hybridized, other grains, and legumes. It helps to dry it quickly and uniformly. Data shows about 28% of U.S. wheat acreage, or 15.3 million acres, were applied with 14.8 million pounds of glyphosate. Pesticide drift is another issue as the glyphosate drifts to other areas where a crop producing seed like potatoes grow. It becomes unfit for planting the next year. It makes the farmers dependent then on GMO seeds and buys it again and again. So the cycle continues, and world hunger is not resolved. IARC, or International Agency for Research on Cancer, classified glyphosate in March 2015 as Group 2A, probably carcinogenic to humans. Group 1 is known carcinogen, Group 2B possibly carcinogenic to humans. However, EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency, changed their assessment thrice. 1985, a possible carcinogen. 1991, non-carcinogenic. 2016, not likely carcinogenic to humans. Let's take a look at a particular study from the Journal of Organic Systems that will blow you away. Genetically engineered crops, glyphosate, and the deterioration of health in the United States of America. For the purpose of understanding the study, let us understand about Pearson correlation coefficient, or Pearson R. It is used in statistics to determine the relationship between A and B. The closer the relationship, the higher the Pearson R, making it highly significant. The further the relationship, the lower the Pearson R, making it insignificant. Let me read the abstract. A huge increase in the incidence and prevalence of chronic diseases has been reported in the United States over the last 20 years. Similar increases have been seen globally. The herbicide glyphosate was introduced in 1974, and its use is accelerating with the advent of herbicide-tolerant genetically engineered GE crops. Evidence is mounting that glyphosate interferes with many metabolic processes in plants and animals, and glyphosate residues have been detected in both. Glyphosate disrupts the endocrine system and the balance of gut bacteria. It damages DNA and is a driver of mutations that lead to cancer. In the present study, U.S. government databases were searched for GE crop data, glyphosate application data, and disease epidemiological data. Correlation analysis were then performed on a total of 22 diseases in this time series data sets. It showed a high degree of correlation in the 22 diseases plotted against GMO, corn, and soy, and glyphosate applications. Senile dementia, autism, thyroid cancer, bladder cancer, acute kidney failure, end-stage renal disease, ESRD, intestinal infection, lipoprotein metabolism disorder, cancer of the kidney, diabetes, renal failure, obesity, liver cancer, inflammatory bowel disease, hepatitis C, stroke, hypertension, pancreatic cancer, Alzheimer's, myeloid leukemia, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis. Even though we can't determine the causation or cause and effect, but we can see that there is a higher possibility that it is a great contributing factor to the following diseases based on the results. That's why it's important to grow our own food, non-GMO and organic. You can find all the helpful links below. So, as I always say, choose life, choose health, and choose well. For after all is said and done, it's all about a matter of choice.